Chosen one, picture the scene. A house stands under the glow of the moon, its walls proud, its windows shining like eyes, but the ground beneath trembles with chains invisible to the naked eye. You think you own it? You think you've built safety and stability, but in the spirit, ropes as heavy as iron are wound around it, tightening with every signature you gave, every payment you made. God said your house mortgage is not just a financial agreement. It is a spiritual trap, designed to capture not your walls and ceilings, but your very soul. That contract they made you sign, it echoes with whispers from a system that feeds off your anxiety, your fear of losing shelter, your endless chase after security. This is not a home. This is a cage disguised as comfort, and you have to see it before it consumes the life within you. You're not here by accident. You've been guided to this moment. The fact that you're watching right now is a sign that your spirit is waking up. Write 99 in the comments. It's time to release your wish to the universe. Do not hesitate. Write your warmest wish boldly, because the act of declaring it unlocks chains you can't even see. And if your spirit woke up while listening, don't scroll away. Like this video. Subscribe now. You belong here. This space is for the ones who feel the invisible hand pressing down on them, and it's for the ones who refuse to remain silent. Claim your voice, declare your wish, and let the universe record your courage. Do you understand what you signed up for when you accepted that mortgage? They told you it was a loan, a bridge to home ownership, but in reality, it was a vow binding your energy to their system of fear and scarcity. Month after month, you give away your breath, your sweat, your future, just to maintain something that was never fully yours. In the spiritual realm, every payment is not just money, it's a ritual of bondage. Each due date is a drumbeat of oppression, reminding you that your freedom has been mortgaged away. This is why your chest tightens when the bill arrives. This is why you feel heavy in the silence of your home, even when no one else is there. Your house was meant to be a sanctuary, but the mortgage has made it a prison. And yet, God sent you here because there is a way to break the spell. Look deeper, chosen one. Think about the dreams you once had for that home, the laughter, the warmth, the peace. Those dreams have been replaced with calculations, balances, and deadlines. Where once your soul should have rested, now it is restless. That's not coincidence. That's design. The system feeds off your fear of losing it, off your terror of eviction, off your willingness to sacrifice your joy just to keep up. They don't want you free. They want you tied. They don't want you strong. They want you desperate. And the trap is not just financial. It's spiritual. You cannot move as you want to move. You cannot give as you want to give, because a chain links you to their altar of debt. That altar is what they call mortgage. But God calls it what it really is, a covenant of control. And you feel it, don't you? Deep in your bones, you sense that your house owns you more than you own it. You've begun to see that the walls don't protect you. They watch you. The papers don't secure you. They bind you. The roof doesn't shelter you. It covers a battlefield where your peace of mind is the hostage. This is why the Spirit is exposing this truth to you today. It's not to condemn you, but to awaken you. Because what has been tied can be untied. What has been cursed can be blessed. And what has been turned into a trap can be transformed into freedom. but only if you recognize what it truly is. God said your house mortgage is a spiritual trap, and the moment you accept that revelation is the moment the keys begin to appear in your hands. The storm outside rages, but the real storm is inside the walls you've been calling your home. Every night when you lay your head on the pillow, the house whispers back to you. It tells you the bills are coming. It reminds you the contract still breathes. It hums the tune of numbers, debt, and deadlines, drowning out the melody of peace. Chosen one, this is not just about financial responsibility. They want you to believe that's all it is. But the truth is far more sinister. The mortgage system is engineered to keep you spiritually exhausted, spiritually drained, spiritually trapped. They know if they own your house, they can control your steps. If they can bind your roof, they can bind your destiny. You've already noticed the shift, haven't you? You walk into that home after a long day, expecting rest, but instead, heaviness meets you at the door. The walls feel closer than before. The air feels heavier than it should. You sense unseen eyes watching, not because of paranoia, but because your spirit knows you are inside a structure that has been spiritually branded by a covenant you didn't fully understand. A mortgage doesn't just exchange money, it exchanges energy. It places you under constant spiritual surveillance, holding your peace hostage for the sake of keeping their system alive. You are the fuel, chosen one. Your anxiety, your fear, your submission, these are the true payments they crave. But ask yourself, why do you feel chained when you should feel safe? Why does your sanctuary feel like a burden? That contradiction is the evidence of the trap. A true home should breathe life into you, but a mortgaged house siphons life away from you. You've noticed how your laughter has grown quieter, how your prayers often turn into desperate pleas instead of songs of gratitude. That's not random. That's the invisible weight pressing down on you. They promised you ownership, but they handed you shackles, and with every signed check, with every payment made, the chains grow tighter around your soul. Yet hear me, you are not powerless. You were chosen for more than endless debt and silent suffering. God didn't create you to be enslaved to numbers on a page or contracts inked by men who don't know your spirit. You were chosen to rise above the traps designed to suffocate you. Your awakening begins when you see it for what it is: a scheme, a system, a spiritual weapon clothed in paperwork. Once you see the weapon, you can begin to disarm it. Once you recognize the prison, you can begin to walk out of it. And once you acknowledge the trap, the Spirit begins to show you the exits. The question is, will you act? Will you face the truth? Or will you keep calling your prison a palace just to avoid the pain of confrontation? The mortgage has fed off your silence, off your unwillingness to question, off your desperate hope that one day things will feel different. But one day never comes for those who remain asleep. The day of freedom only comes when you choose to awaken. And today, by hearing this message, you are being called to awaken. The chains are trembling, chosen one. They know you are hearing the truth. They know you are seeing past the disguise. Do not let the heaviness win. Lift your eyes, lift your spirit, and begin to imagine a life where your home is not a burden, but a blessing. That vision is not foolish. It's the glimpse of what's possible once you step out of the trap. And that possibility is why you're here right now. Because God is not revealing this to crush you, but to prepare you. He's showing you the invisible cage so that you never again mistake it for shelter. The night is silent, but silence can be the loudest sound when your spirit is restless. Chosen one, listen closely. The house that should echo with your joy is echoing with the vibrations of fear. Every brick, every tile, every nail has absorbed the sound of your late-night worries. They've soaked up the prayers you whispered out of desperation, the sighs you tried to hide, the tears you let fall when no one was watching. This is why the walls feel alive. They carry your burdens back to you. The trap is not only in the paper you signed, but in the atmosphere your house has been forced to create. And you feel it deep down. You don't rest in your home rests on you. Think back to when you first dreamed of owning it. You imagined freedom, stability, something to pass down to your family. But the dream you bought into was laced with poison. They promised you ownership, but slipped in slavery. They offered you security, but disguised a cage. And now, the system feeds on your energy like a parasite. Every time you sacrifice your peace just to pay another installment, the system grows stronger. This is why you're weary, even when you've done nothing physically exhausting. Your spirit is under siege, locked in a battle it never signed up for. And you've been asking yourself why you feel this way. This is the answer. Chosen one, do you see how clever the trap is? They didn't come to you with chains. They came to you with keys. They dangled the promise of a future, but the keys were tied to shackles. They convinced you that bondage was opportunity, that debt was destiny. And yet, in the spiritual realm, God has been showing you flashes, moments where you feel the weight lift when you step outside, moments where peace brushes you when you're away from those walls. Those are not coincidences. Those are signs. Signs that your spirit recognizes the truth your mind has been afraid to face. But here is the turning point. The moment you see the cage, you no longer belong to it. Once the trap is revealed, it cannot bind you in the same way. You may still have payments, you may still have obligations, but your spirit begins to shift from victim to warrior. And once that shift happens, the chains tremble, because they cannot hold a chosen one who has awakened. They cannot silence a soul that has learned the name of its prison. God is showing you now, because the time has come for your awakening. The choice before you is not small. You can keep calling it normal, keep pretending the wait is just life. Or you can stand in the revelation that your mortgage is not just business, it's bondage. The world will laugh. They'll say, it's just money, it's just a house. But they don't see what you see. They don't hear what you hear. They don't feel the battle that rages inside the walls you live in. You are not crazy. You are not imagining. You are perceiving truth that has been hidden from the many, but revealed to the few. And that, chosen one, is what makes you different. So breathe. Let the revelation settle into you. The system wants you tired, hopeless, drained. But revelation restores your power. You may still feel the heaviness, but now you know its name. You may still see the chains, but now you know they are not eternal. And the moment you recognize the spiritual trap, you begin to loosen its grip. God is not just exposing the darkness. He's calling you to walk in light, And when you walk in light, the shadows cannot keep you. The air feels heavier now, doesn't it? Chosen one, the deeper you let these words settle, the more you begin to see the invisible strings that have been tied around your life. A house should be a blessing, but instead it feels like a demand. A home should bring rest, but instead it drains your energy before you even wake. The truth is brutal, but you cannot turn away now. You have already glimpsed the chains. You've already seen how the mortgage system bends your spirit down, how it whispers lies of stability while extracting your freedom in silence. This is not random, it's intentional. It was designed to keep you locked in cycles of fear so that peace would never feel permanent. And yet, here you are, alive in this moment, being shown what most never see. That alone is proof that you are chosen. Many walk into their homes blind, unaware of the spiritual web cast over their lives. But not you. You feel it in your chest when the bills come. You sense it in the way your house sometimes feels more like an enemy than a friend. That awareness is your gift. It's the mark that your spirit is tuned to frequencies most people ignore. And if you've been given the ability to see, it means you've been given the power to break free. The mortgage is not just a contract, it's a ritual of surrender. Every month you repeat it. Give away your energy. Give away your peace. Give away your joy. The ritual continues until you forget that you ever had a choice. That's how traps are built, not by force, but by tricking you into believing you agreed. And yet God is here, shattering the illusion, telling you it was never consent. It was deception. They sold you chains disguised as promises. They bound you to a structure that feeds off your fear. And every sigh you've breathed inside that house has been taken as fuel for their system. But the Spirit says, no more. The awakening is not about walking away from your home. It's about breaking the power the mortgage has over your soul. It's about reclaiming the sanctuary that belongs to you. Your spirit is not for sale. Your peace is not negotiable. Your destiny is not collateral. This is the shift happening right now. You are pulling back what was stolen. You are taking back your authority over the place where you live. And once that authority is restored, the trap weakens, the chains loosen, the house begins to transform. Do not underestimate what is happening here. You are not just listening to words. You are undergoing a shift in the unseen. This message is an act of war against the system that has oppressed you. Every truth you accept is like a hammer blow against the chains. Every moment you refuse fear is like a key turning in the lock. This is why your heart is beating faster as you listen. This is why your spirit feels stirred. Because this is not entertainment. It's deliverance. And you have been brought here because the season of silence is ending. Chosen one. The war is real. The mortgage was never just about money. It was about power. Power over your energy. Power over your future. Power over your hope. And God is saying to you right now, reclaim your power. The house will no longer be your cage. It will become your altar of freedom. But you must step into the revelation with courage. Because only those who see the trap can break it. And today, you see it. That's why the darkness fears you. That's why the system resists you. Because the moment you rise, you break not only your chains, but the chains of those who come after you. The night stretches long, but even in the longest night, a dawn waits. Chosen one, feel the weight of this moment. Your spirit has been walking through the shadows of truth, and now the horizon is breaking open before you. What once felt hidden is now being uncovered. You are beginning to see the house not as they sold it to you, but as it really is. An altar of fear designed to keep you worshiping debt instead of living in freedom. That recognition is shaking the ground beneath the mortgage itself. The system thrives on your blindness, but it trembles at your sight. And right now, you are seeing. Do you notice how your heart stirs when you imagine life without that chain? That is not fantasy, that is revelation. Your soul is showing you what freedom could feel like, what peace would taste like, what rest would look like when it is no longer tied to deadlines. That vision is not cruel, it is prophetic. It is the preview of what God intends for you once you step into this awakening. They wanted you to forget, to believe you were powerless, to think you had no choice but to keep bowing at the altar of debt. But today, you are remembering. Today, your spirit is rising. The mortgage has been more than a financial weight. It has been a silent thief. It has stolen your laughter, replacing it with sighs. It has taken your sleep, replacing it with tossing and turning. It has drained your creativity, your joy, your generosity. And yet, the fact that you are still here, breathing, hearing this, means it did not win. It means the thief has been caught in the act. And when a thief is caught, restitution must come. You will not only rise from this trap, you will recover what was taken. Chosen one, the house you live in is not your enemy. The enemy is the covenant attached to it. But covenants can be broken. Chains can be shattered. Atmospheres can be cleansed. This is why God has brought this revelation to you, not to terrify you, but to empower you. The power to break this spiritual trap is already within you. The moment you stop agreeing with fear is the moment the chains weaken. The moment you declare your house belongs to peace and not to debt is the moment the air begins to shift. You are not a victim of the system. You are the interruption of it. And this is why the system fears you. Because if one chosen one sees the truth and rises, others will follow. Your awakening is not just for you. It's for your bloodline, for your children, for everyone who will ever step into the space you call home. You are the breaker of cycles, the destroyer of traps, the one who turns prisons into sanctuaries. This is your identity, and no contract can erase it. The wind outside howls, but the louder sound is inside your chest, the rhythm of awakening, the heartbeat of a chosen one rising. Chosen one, do you feel it? The weight is shifting, the veil is tearing, and your spirit is no longer willing to stay silent under the trap they laid for you. Your house mortgage was meant to be invisible shackles, a quiet prison dressed as pride. But now the mask is falling away. You are beginning to see the truth in its rawest form. What they called ownership was really captivity. What they called stability was really submission. Think of the moments you've sat in that house, staring at the walls, wondering why peace seemed so far away. Think of the heaviness that pressed on your chest when bills arrived, when deadlines loomed, when every corner of the house seemed to whisper, "You owe." That was not just pressure. It was spiritual manipulation. It was the system tightening its grip, feeding on your worry, drawing power from your silence. They wanted you distracted. They wanted you numb. They wanted you too weary to question. But here you are, awake, questioning, refusing. That refusal is power. That awakening is war. The truth is, you were never born to be enslaved to paper, to contracts, to systems built to drain you dry. You were born to walk free, to live in abundance, to call your home a sanctuary, not a battlefield. And when God says your house mortgage is a spiritual trap, He is not condemning you. He is exposing the enemy's design so you can step into freedom. Exposure is deliverance. Revelation is the first strike of the hammer against the chains. And now that you see it, the breaking has already begun. Chosen one, imagine this. Your home no longer echoing with sighs, but with songs. Your walls no longer heavy with fear, but vibrating with peace. Your nights no longer restless, but soaked in deep healing rest. That vision is not distant. It is closer than you think. The moment you declare ownership not of paper, but of spirit, your home begins to shift. The atmosphere changes. The fear loses its grip. The debt loses its sting. You stop being a prisoner and become a warrior guarding your sacred ground. But do not mistake this for a small battle. This is bigger than you. This is about every chosen one who has been tricked into trading peace for paperwork, joy for contracts, destiny for deadlines. The system is vast, but it cannot withstand awakened souls. And you are one of them. Your awakening is shaking the very foundations of that system, exposing its weakness and lighting a path for others to follow. You are not just freeing yourself. You are blazing a trail for every chosen one who comes after you. The chains are trembling now, chosen one. The house feels different already because you are different. The mortgage still exists on paper, but its power over your soul is dissolving. You are no longer bowing to it. You are standing above it. And when you stand above, the trap loses its strength. The walls may still be the same, but the spirit inside them is not. And that is the beginning of true freedom. The sky above your house is shifting, chosen one. What once felt like a ceiling pressing down on you is now cracking open, and light is breaking through. God said your house mortgage is a spiritual trap, and you know now that this trap was never about bricks, never about paper, never about numbers on a page. It was about your soul. It was about your freedom. It was about chaining your destiny to a system that thrives on your fear. But today, the Spirit is declaring war against that system, and you are the warrior chosen to carry the sword. Look at your journey through this revelation. At first, you thought it was normal. Everyone has a mortgage. Everyone carries the same weight. But deep inside, you always knew something was wrong. You felt it in the heaviness, the endless calculations, the quiet moments of despair. You felt it when you walked through your own front door and wondered why your heart didn't feel safe. That was not your imagination. It was truth whispering through the cracks, begging you to listen. And now you have listened. You are not blind anymore. The mortgage was designed to silence you, but instead it awakened you. It was designed to weaken you, but instead it forged strength inside you. It was meant to bury your spirit under bills and deadlines, but instead it revealed the warrior you were always meant to be. You are no longer the one bowing under the weight. You are the one standing tall, chains at your feet, fire in your eyes. Your house is not a cage. Your house is not a curse. Your house is about to become what it was always meant to be, a sanctuary, a place of freedom, a temple of peace. Chosen one, hear this. The system fears you now. It fears your voice, your awareness, your power. Because the moment you name the trap, it begins to lose its strength. The moment you refuse to agree with fear, the chain cracks. And the moment you rise, the whole spiritual atmosphere around your house begins to shift. Darkness cannot dwell where light has entered, and light has entered you. So walk through your home tonight with new eyes. Look at the walls, not as witnesses of your suffering, but as future keepers of your joy. Step into each room and declare that fear has no place here. Tell the air that this is not Debt's temple. It is your sanctuary. Speak aloud that your spirit is free. Your destiny is untouchable. Your peace is untouchable. The mortgage may remain on paper, but it no longer has power in the spirit. And when it loses power in the spirit, it will crumble in the natural. This is your moment of claiming, your moment of breaking, your moment of freedom. You were not guided here by accident. You were brought here because your awakening shakes the unseen realms. And now, the chains that bound your house are being shattered. Chosen one, never forget this. You are not a prisoner. You are a warrior. You are not enslaved. You are chosen. You are not bound. You are free. And from this day forward, your house will no longer echo with fear. It will echo with the sound of a chosen one who rose, who saw the trap, and who broke it forever.